Hey there, we're live. I'm really enjoying the way the lighting is tonight. I don't know what's different. Is something's angled somewhere, some way. I don't fucking know. I'm not an expert in this stuff, but it's very cozy in here. Let me very quickly go ahead and check the audio on the stream, because those of you who've been watching this for many years know from time to time the audio is a fucking disaster. So it's important to check that. Those of you who've been watching this for many years know. There we go. Looks good. From time to time the audio sounds good. How is everybody? All one of you watching. Whoever the fuck you are out there. Yeah. Before we get going, the usual social media plug: Twitter at Mike Montone, Instagram at Gary_Moyler, Moyler. I've been putting the audio up as, the Savage Sacktap. So if you prefer to listen to the audio instead of watching us here at Mike's Golden Streams on YouTube, check it out on both. If you are listening or watching, I would highly encourage you, just go ahead, take a quick screenshot, share it wherever, send the link around, tell a few people. It'll be a while before I actually start actively promoting this. I've been so fucking busy with all the other shit that I do over the past year or so that things are finally slowing down to a reasonable rate. That I just want to chill the fuck out and not worry about such things. But at some point in the years to come, I'll become one of those guys who tweets and Instagrams clips and announces on stories or whatever that they're going live. I will put in that modicum of effort at some point and not just sit here and assume that people will find me. But for now, whatever. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little cooked right now. I bought an eighth of gelato last weekend, and I don't usually smoke. I usually just vape or an edible or something like that. But every once in a while on the weekend, I like to burn a J or a blunt or something like that. And it's just delightful. Anywho, it's tourist season in New York City, which is always a nightmare in the neighborhood that I work in, because there are a shitload of people on the sidewalks. They walk at minimum two, but they walk in these like long columns because a lot of them go on these tours. So like a bus will and there's this hotel that I have to you can't get through from where I work to the bus stop without to kind of circumnavigate this would take such a massive walk that it wouldn't be worth it. So walking in the morning, you're worried about getting stabbed by a vagrant, although that hasn't been I haven't seen as many agitated types. I think they clear them out a little bit during the tourist seasons. Like that's when the cops step up enforcement and kind of, move them along. But they're kind of replaced by these roving gangs of European tourists. Always European. It's Europeans and people from flyover country. Like that's who visits Times Square and fucking mass. That for whatever reason, that if you're walking around Times Square, the two types of people you will run into the most during tourist season are people from like Wichita or people from fucking Frankfurt, Germany. It's an interesting phenomenon, and they do it in massive groups. The Europeans are out. They're out at very, very early hours. I guess because their body clocks are still on European time. So I'll see them very early in the morning when I'm on my way in. They'll just be drunk, like toting their fucking rolling suitcases around, and there'll be 9 of them. They're always out and about. I don't know how more of them aren't getting stabbed. There are just so many of them. And then you tend to see during the daylight hours when it's safe out, safe out in Times Square. That's when the people from flyover country come out and they're getting hustled by the fucking CD guys. It's my favorite thing in the world. Is listening to the CD guys try to convince the fucking rubes from flyover country that if they don't buy what is probably just a blank CD. I don't even think those things have fucking music. An autographed blank CD that if they don't buy it, that makes them racist. And they do it like in front of their wife and kids while they're dapping them up and giving them handshakes. And then it goes from that to sort of like menacing and threatening. So they had to put up signs that say like you're not required to buy a CD. Like if someone gives you an autographed CD, you're not required to pay for it. It's quite a scene. The Desnudas are out. That's one of my favorite things. They're just these chicks who walk around in G-strings. They're all like Brazilian and Colombian, and they have the fattest asses. You have to come if you're going to. I don't suggest going to Times Square, but if you like a nice fat ass and you're in New York City and you're in from out of town, go on like a nice warm spring day. And there's just this gaggle of fucking South American chicks with fucking caked up South American chicks walking around in G-strings. It's awesome. And like, every 19-year-old kid with a walking erection, pays 20, $30 to take his picture with them. I always see that the Exotica convention or the Exotica Expo. Sorry, I always feel bad when I call it a convention. It's not a convention. It's an exposition. The lines at porn star booths for guys who want to take a picture with their favorite porn star is such a fascinating interaction to me. Like what are you saying about yourself? And like, how do you have this face-to-face interaction with this woman that you lust after? You're just like, what those guys are saying is, I jack off to you so much that I made the journey here so that I could take a picture with you. Like that is an incredible frame of mind to me. And I see it when I go to the expo, the lines around Violet Myers. There was a long line. I think she may have outpaced a Bella Danger. People like those thick cheeks. God bless her. Because she is a treat to look at. But yeah, this is the time of year when I always think the most dangerous part of my day is walking back to the Port Authority, because there's a chance that just some moron from fucking, Kansas or Poland or wherever the fuck is going to be walking down the sidewalk, looking at their phone and accidentally bump me in front of a fucking bus. So, you take your life in your hands. Just another day in the concrete jungle, New York City. How we doing? How we doing, folks? Cowster, howdy. Root canal. Good luck, Cowster. Rooster, Nighttime Conqueror, how we doing? Chucky D, you shut your mouth. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be. I don't think they're going to be anything special this season. I'm going to be honest. Um, I don't. I don't. Resign re-signing Ezekiel Elliott is not. I don't think the offseason move that a lot of Cowboys fans had in mind. But oh well. You got to watch your team for the process. You can't, especially with the NFL, when it's just anything can fucking happen. Like, you could think you have the team and then you get hit by like two injuries and it all falls apart. Um, and then there will be years where you think, oh, this team's gonna fucking suck, and because maybe the schedule's not as strong or whatever, or they, like that the Giants 2 years ago, I think when they snuck into the playoffs and they beat like kind of a fledgling Minnesota team, and they'd won a lot of games in the regular season by like fucking just opponents kind of just shooting themselves in the foot, and you were like, they show you who they are, but they also kind of scrape by, things weird, just weird shit happens. That's what makes it such an interesting league. I'm I I don't know how people. I mean, I guess because it also the sport also caters to raging alcoholics. So there are. I feel like the average NFL fan is just getting blackout fucking drunk on a Sunday, and they're like the people in the Coliseum. Like they just want action and victory, and they demanded the fucking six Bloody Marys and a couple Bud Lights deep by 1 in the afternoon, and they're they're just fucking they just want to yell. A lot of people, maybe you're not happy with the choices you made in life. Maybe you rushed into a marriage that wasn't right. You were young, you were getting pressure from your parents to have kids, and now the only thing you have is numbing that regret. You have no desire whatsoever to fuck your wife anymore. You look at just the ball of suburban frump that she's turned into. Her fucking her lower belly. She's not an obese woman, but like lower belly fat that just fucking hangs down over her undies. She doesn't wear hot underwear anymore. Just fucking over her granny panties. The way like in Major League, the way he describes a manager's gut hanging over his belt, just like that. There's sagging cottage cheesed ass cheeks. You're still working in corporate America, but not doing wonderfully. Your star has stopped rising, and your day is just spent fucking lusting after the 22-year-old interns and new hires in the office, and you get really like really jealous about they're making their happy hour plans to go out with the younger guys in the office, and you just see this youth, they're having such a good time. You see OnlyFans models on Instagram that you follow, and you don't care at all that your wife sees you liking their content. So the NFL Sunday, getting fucking hammered and eating some chicken fingers or whatever the fuck, bacon wrapped bull testicles, whatever it is your junk food of choice is, and screaming at the coach about how he doesn't know. Screaming at I fucking love drunk guys at a bar on a fucking Sunday who know what the coach should have done, what play should have been, as if a fucking staff of dozens of guys breaking down hours and hours and hours of game film and looking at analytics and knowing the scouting report on every player on the field, have come to a decision based on all of that information. There's some guy who's been drinking since 9 a.m. who knows what the coach should have called. That's just one of my favorite aspects of NFL fandom. And anyway, that is to say, howdy, Chucky D. Good to see you in the comments, man. Monday morning mowing with Mike. That is a lot of M's. Good to have you here. Um, open the borders for fat asses, indeed. Um, yeah, I did my Murph today. I don't know if you guys um do that. It's this is the first time I've ever done one. It's a this time of year people there was a Navy SEAL, I think he was a lieutenant, Mike Murphy, who was killed in Afghanistan, and this was his favorite workout. I guess it's a CrossFit workout. Um, you put on a 20-pound vest, you run a mile, and then you have to do 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, and 300 squats with the vest on, and then you run another mile with the vest on to finish it up. So I did that today. Nice conditions for it. It was raining a little bit. It was kind of chilly out. Actually, very similar to when I ran my half marathon last year. I wound up finishing this in a little under 50 minutes. I didn't run a timer. I screenshotted the start time on my phone, and then I just looked at my phone when I finished up. So it came in just short of 50 minutes, which I think that's considered good. It's not like all-star, but yeah, I was glad to have done it. Interesting thing to train for over the winter, and I think now I'm going to shift. I will start training. I'm going to try to run a marathon next year, which is something I never really thought I would do. Then I ran the half last year, and I was like, oh, that was pretty badass. And now it's like, it feels like, why do the half if you're going to leave the whole hanging out there? And my general feeling on long distance running is that it's a stupid form of exercise. So it's not the kind of thing that I would do long term, but there is a feeling like you get an incredible endorphin dump from a 13-mile run. And your body is like, I imagine it's similar to, I mean, not similar, like a fraction of what like heroin feels like. Like your body's just like in this very blissful state for like 24 hours afterwards. You don't give a fucking shit about anything. It feels really, really nice. So if you've never done it, it is a cool thing to train for, like a very long event. I ran track in high school and in college. So like this, it wasn't a new like running wasn't a new thing for me. And obviously in the Marine Corps, we do a lot of longer distance running and endurance events, but it was something I hadn't done in the longest time. So it was interesting getting back into it. So I think I'm going to I'll start training for that probably within the next month or so, and maybe look for one to run next spring would be pretty cool. I feel like the spring is a good time to do that kind of shit. But we do have news stories to check out this week. I should say, I believe next Friday, high likelihood of being a pre-record. Anyway, strong solar storm hits Earth, could disrupt communications and produce northern lights in the U.S. Aurora Borealis. At this time of year, in this part of the country, steamed hams. An unusually strong solar storm hitting Earth could produce northern lights in the U.S. this weekend and potentially disrupt power and communications. Yeah. So we never really get into like outer space and shit on this show, which I'm very, very interested in space. Space is fascinating to me, and not even in an have we been visited way, which is obvious. That's a very interesting thing. Although I can't. There's all these fucking guys talking about like physics and particles and this and stuff. Like, I want to talk about that stuff, but I just want to talk about like the creatures and the spaceships. Like, I can never get into any of the conspiracy conversations because it always winds up being more about like the document burning and whatever they're doing to cover it up than it is. No, like I want to hear about fucking aliens, because there's got to be some shit out there. It's too big for us to be the only ones. Now, what form it takes, and you have to remember, like the reason that we became an advanced species is largely it's because of a couple of things, uh, but it's largely because of the fucking opposable thumbs. So like there could be life for like very fucking there could be a planet out there that's just all magnificent fish, and they just haven't uh they can't fly to another solar system because they have no physical means of creating a fucking spaceship or any because they don't have opposable thumbs or whatever. Like dolphins are fucking geniuses, killer whales are fucking geniuses. There's all sorts of shit in the ocean that they're fucking brilliant, but they don't have the hands to do it. And they got to live in the ocean, which it's harder to fucking do shit down there. Um, in any case, I do always on my walk. I walk through the park on my way to work in the morning, and I see I see the sun rising, and I look at the trees, and that's always fascinating to me. I always think about that in when it comes to like other planets and shit. Like what's their version of trees? Because trees are living things that are just standing there and we're walking past them, and there are theories that trees like communicate with each other, and you think about that, you're like, you get way the fuck out there, because think of how big just our solar system is. And then what are we're in the Milky Way. That's the galaxy that we're in. But there are many, many, many other galaxies. Like space is fucking it's not like you hit a fucking wall somewhere. So there are all these other fucking galaxies out there. Like there just must be every fucking combination of planets and what passes for plant life. Like could you imagine being out there, because there's going to be, if we don't, like, if a solar storm, this isn't going to destroy the fucking earth, but there's all sorts of shit flying around out there that could cause a massive extinction and the end of structured society as we know it. But if that doesn't happen and things keep advancing technologically and there's no nuclear accident, or if things keep going uninterrupted, there is going to be a time when you can get to another galaxy or whatever, reasonably quickly. Like fucking there was a time on this planet when the idea that you could hop on a flight and be anywhere in hours was just fucking insane. So if things do progress unimpeded, you have to think that eventually people are going to get out to distant fucking galaxies, and what do you find out there? That's so fascinating. Um, and how do we wind up fucking it up? Like fucking, it would be hilarious if if fucking human beings were just like the way that like we've tended to kind of fuck up the earth a little bit, or a lot. um we just went from planet to planet, like just like fucking up other planets, and like like the fucking the pot-bellied British tourists who are fucking oafing their way around fucking Times Square are just landing in distant galaxies and annoying the shit out of some alien who's just trying to get to work in the morning. That would be such a delight to see. Um, Yeah. But that is it is something it is fascinating to think that, like, at any given time, a fucking rock could come by and just catch us on the wrong angle, and it's all fucked. It's all fucked. Space travel, hell yeah. That is what I'm talking about. I guess I don't you don't doubt them coming up with the technology because obviously we can put shit way the fuck out there. Like we land things on Mars and wherever and things go back. I think there was just one that sent a message from uh an actual distant galaxy or a distant solar system. Um so I guess the real challenge isn't making the craft that can survive the journey. It's outfitting it to a degree that you could put people on it and send them out there. Um, and I guess that's a different thing because how much food and water and everything and getting rid of waste and etc. Nighttime conqueror, a frequency isn't a message? Question mark. I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck that means. I don't know what a frequency or a message or anything is. To be honest, I'm not really qualified to opine on any of this. I'm just a guy who got a little high in his basement on a Friday night, reading an article about a solar storm and thinking about the wonders of space travel. I've seen Contact. I've seen Independence Day, and I've seen clips from Alien, but otherwise, I'm not well versed in any of this. I read a Neil deGrasse Tyson book, and that was very interesting. But there was a lot of physics in there, which was and not like easy. There's not a lot of easy physics, but not like the fucking astrophysics. It's a very difficult thing for me to wrap my fucking meathead brain around. Um, anyway, AI personas are the future of dating, Bumble founder says. Many aren't buying. Whitney Wolf Heard, the executive chair of Bumble, uh, said the app wants to use AI to create more healthy and equitable relationships. And this, I think this is the yeah, she's the founder of Bumble. She's a girl boss. Remember that fucking about 10 years ago, it was I want to say it was starting right around the time I got out of the Marine Corps because when I started working in media, it was really the girl boss era was picking up steam. The girl boss era is what preceded the the everybody is trans era. It was like every millennial chick was trying to be a girl boss. And I feel like now a lot of them are like, yo, fuck that bullshit. But they were encouraging millennial women to like lean in and try to climb the corporate ladder and do all of and like put all you don't need to have a family and raise kids and follow your biological intuition. Like what you want is to be a C-suite executive. And it was like I think a lot of them have dropped out and started farmers market stands, um, which is good, which is healthier and better. But I remember when I was working uh, for CBS New York, which is CBS. It was CBS 2 and 1010 Wins. I would edit the videos from the evening news to put on the website, and it was like every fucking literally every day there was a new package, a new news package about like empowering women in the workplace. It was the obsession for so long, and it kind of peaked, I guess, with Hillary running against Trump. That was supposed to be, I feel like that was supposed to be the apex of the girl boss moment. That was supposed to be like, hey, we're gonna do it, fucking Rosie the Riveter in the White House. Uh, and then Donald just fucking pussy grabbed his way on in. And then I don't know. It was like a team that loses in the playoffs and then or in the championship and then they don't have it next year. They're flat. They're decimated by the loss. They can't rebound. Like almost like kind of like what I feel like is going to happen to the Dallas Cowboys this season. Like the whole feminist thing they just took such a hard fucking L. And then the LGBTQ, they were just picking up steam. They had just gotten the gay marriage thing with Obama towards the end of his term, and it was just chug a lugging along. And they were like, "Look, Trump is a harbinger of chaos, and nothing would be more chaotic than if we started reading fucking bedtime stories to." If we put on falsies and a wig and started reading bedtime stories to children and just fucking let it fly, baby. So R.I.P. to the girl boss era. But anyway, what Whitney is saying, if I got off track there, her company is considering how AI can assist and empower women in their search for connection. One particular use of AI that has gained traction online is a scenario in which singles could use AI dating concierge as stand-ins for themselves when reaching out to prospective partners. There's a world where your dating concierge could go and date for you with other dating concierge, and then you don't have to talk to 600 people, she said. This is NBC News reporting, by the way. So I guess you send an AI version of yourself on a date with an AI version of some chick, and if things go well, you meet in real life. I mean, I don't see what's not to like here, because it should have a sex feature where AIU bangs the AI chick, or can, if the date goes well enough. Because I think there are a good amount of people, and I've been on apps at times. When I was on using apps during the lockdown, like I was purely doing it to have a little fun, you know what I mean? Nothing serious. And it would be very helpful if you could send your AI self out as sort of an advanced party and find out if the chick you were talking to is down for a good time. I think that's a brilliant way to do it. It makes things safer for women, because then if they're like, look, your avatar blew this guy, then it's manifested itself. You can feel safe, comfortable doing it. It's a good match. The algorithm wouldn't lie to you. It's a little easier way to break the ice than sending a dick pic. I think this is a fascinating and helpful development for anyone who's out there on the apps. And even better if you could get a look at what the sex would be like, right? You find out if ladies, do you want to know, is he going to reciprocate oral? Fellas, is she going to perform oral at all? That's a big question on everyone's mind. Are you going to get your respective genitals sucked? or licked, or fingered, or or rimmed. And AI can help you find out all about that without wasting time and going on this date and fucking, you got to take time to shower and get ready and choose an outfit, and there's the awkwardness of kind of like first meeting and sitting down and drinks, and you got to decide if you're gonna get food or not. And usually I feel like if there's food involved, there's less of a chance that you're gonna have sex, because no one wants to have sex with someone for the first time, after splitting apps. You got fucking garlic breath and shit in your teeth, and it's just it means it's probably off the table. AI saves you all of that. You find out, it's like when they run the Madden sim before a game. It's usually right. You find out if you should bang, and you go and you do it. You can go comfortably into your liaison, knowing that your genitals are right for each other. So I think that is a good idea. Yes, Cowster. It would be cool to see the Northern Lights. Where are they? Like, where are they going to be visible? Are the Northern Lights going to be visible in New Jersey? NJ may get rare view of Northern Lights. Let's see. Let's have a look-see. Jeez, so many fucking ads. Where? They don't say where. I don't need a fucking description. I know what they fucking look like. Just give me locations. Fuck these jerk-offs. How do you not give, like, locations to view it from? Fucking dickheads at NJ.com. So I just go outside. What time? Is there like a time when this happens? Now I'm very curious. The best aurora is usually within an hour or two of midnight. Okay. All right. Then I'll step outside after the show, and I will see if I can see aurora borealis, and then have myself a couple of steamed hams. Steamed hams. That is one of the greatest moments in TV history. Fucking Superintendent Chalmers. Okay, what else is going on? Questlove. Oh boy. He put Kendrick and Drake on blast. And he said, hip hop is truly dead. Nobody won the war. Oh boy. Well, Kendrick Lamar and Drake, this is Billboard, and Drake's heavyweight battle has been a spectacle sweeping pop culture for the last few weeks. Questlove is not thrilled. He doesn't like its mudslinging antics. I guess he posted on Instagram. Nobody won the war. This wasn't about skill. This was a wrestling match level mudslinging and takedown by any means necessary. Women and children and actual facts be damned, he wrote. Same audience wanting blood will soon put up RIP posts like they weren't part of the problem. Hip hop is truly dead. Oh, there is nothing. I have a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts about people's obsession with hip hop culture. I think it is the douchiest fucking thing in the world. Uh when people make their personalities about being really into fucking hip hop culture. I never got that. I don't know what the fuck like and like you know Eminem I guess gets a pass because his music is so good, but like that breed of it was a special breed of dude in it was very common in like the early 2000s, I guess. Uh, you know, for whatever it was as hip hop became accessible to white teenagers. It happens, and it's very common again among um I guess still younger white like guys in their early 20s. Um, it's just they'll speak with like a hip hop vernacular, and they'll on social media they'll RIP like a rapper after he gets shot, by uh you know someone in another hip hop crew, another drill rapper, because they gotten into an argument on Facebook. Um, but it's just I don't this Drake versus Kendrick thing that it's been like sweeping the nation is very bizarre to me. Like it's not real. Like first of all, fucking this obsession that people have had with Drake to begin with for many years, I have found baffling. Um, like he's not. I mean, like I don't even know. Well, I guess I've heard some of his. I've heard a few of his songs. I hear he just seems to be celebrating himself, but I'm not sure what he's celebrating himself for. I guess selling a lot of records, but the record, like, every one of the records is about him celebrating. Like they're not. He seems to have been making music about celebrating himself from before he was even worth celebrating. And I know he was the wheelchair kid on Degrassi and all of that. The new that version of Degrassi sucked, by the way. Give me OG Joey Jeremiah fucking Degrassi or get the fuck out. Degrassi Junior High. That is the show, not this bullshit. That bullshit Drake Degrassi. Get the fuck out of here. And then Kendrick, I don't know. I guess he's supposed to be. Is he supposed to be like the streets guy? Like, is that his persona? Like he's the tough guy, and he's calling Drake out for being bitch made. Um, I don't know. I just it's just why why would you care? Uh, what like I do not give a shit. I don't give a shit what any of the other cast members of fucking Degrassi are up to. I'm sure at least a couple of them have probably made some fucking mediocre music. It's just I truly don't understand the other artist I don't get the obsession with is fucking Bad Bunny. I think reggaeton blows. Um, and I'm not like it's not like I'm, an old man averse to new music. Like I listen to electronic music. There's new electronic music coming out all the time. I don't understand the hip hop obsession and people who make their personality about country music. and especially when they're not from a rural area. That one really blows my mind. If you running into people in the city who tell you that their favorite music is country music, that always feels psychotic to me. Like that's very weird. That how is that relatable to you? That is as absurd as the white kids in the suburbs who get really into fucking rap music and are talking about, like fucking staying strapped and toting gats and things. Fucking um, people who get into country and they start when they get drunk, they talk with a country drawl. Fucking um uh yeah, I think I enjoyed country music right after 9/11. I was living in Allentown, Pennsylvania, where out there you're like, all right, that makes sense, a little bit of country music. Uh Once I stopped being stationed in like the South or living in rural areas, I lost any and all interest in country music. Um there it is wild to me that there are people who will go to a fucking uh, Kenny Chesney concert at MetLife Stadium, or like Madison Square Garden. Like, what's the feeling that like that's so fucking? It's very very strange, and like it just makes me cringe aggressively when you're at like a party like the Jersey you run into this a lot at the Jersey Shore, where at the Jersey Shore electronic music is king. Like it's just the fucking like Bruce Springsteen is from the Jersey Shore, so you're always going to hear Springsteen. But really, if you're going out down at the Jersey Shore, like at some point the electronic music is going to take over. And there's always some fucking chick at a party at the Jersey Shore who complains that they're not playing country music, that they hate electronic music, and it's like, bitch, get kick fucking rocks, toots. Um, but the white guy who is into hip hop are that's just a strange breed, and I feel like that's who the main consumer of these things, these beefs, um, are. Um, like it almost doesn't even feel like culturally like the black community gives a shit about any of this. I feel like it's very much like it's like the Kardashians for guys who used to rap or still do rap the N-word loud in their car with the windows up. Um Cowster, you suck my fucking dick. We don't say that about the chairman of the board. Um I have a Sinatra poster here in my apartment. Frank Sinatra was he's like very very local to where I'm from. He bought a home in Hasbrook Heights. Obviously he's from Hoboken. I live in Jersey City now. Hasbrook Heights out in Bergen County. He famously lived there, and he also was arrested for in Paramus, which is a town over from where I grew up. He was arrested for seduction. He banged a married woman, and back in the day, you could get arrested for that. And I have a poster of his mugshot hanging on the wall in here. So, Cowster, suck a dick. Do I fist pump? When I was in my 20s and I'd be like all fucking cranked up on Adderall and Coke, yeah, I'd be like a fucking sweaty mess, just fucking pumping away out on the dance floor. Now, Now not as much. Now I'll go like I'll go with my friends, and they're like most of these places have like outdoor like patios that you can kind of hang out on. If I go with a group and we have some ladies with us, I'll hit the dance floor in that case. But I'm not like at I'm a couple weeks shy of 39. At 39, you should no longer be leading the charge to the dance floor. That at that point, you kind of you hang, you kind of chill out, you crack a couple jokes, you buy a couple rounds, everyone's having fun. No one needs a 39-year-old dude attacking the dance floor. Like you really do have to know your place, because the Jersey Shore it's open to all age. If you're 21 and up at any one of these clubs, like you'll see a fucking couple in their 60s at a happy hour where there's just fucking dance beats pumping, and two bar stools away there are two 25-year-olds just fucking sucking face, and like the guy's trying to finger her. So it's a very the mood at the Jersey Shore is very like, hey, everybody's welcome, but you still do have to, act your age to a certain degree. So my fist no longer. I mean, I'll throw a couple ironic fist pumps up there, or if you're at DJs, people slap walls and slap tables. That's still acceptable. Give the table a good slap when the beat drops. That's all good fun, especially if the mushroom chocolate is hitting right. Even better, in my opinion, Cowster. Love it. Love it. I love the Sinatra mob JFK stories. It would be so cool to find out that the mob really did kill JFK, because that would be just a feather in the cap of the Italian American community, taking out the head fucking Irishman. That would be a big win if it was Giancana and Santo Trafficante. Big time. And there are those who claim that that it was. Who knows? Yeah, bro country, nighttime conqueror. I know it. I know what you mean. It's yeah, and it's very. Again, if you're a lot of college campuses are in kind of rural areas. If you're a college student getting blacked out at a tailgate on game day, I get it. If you're at fucking Rutgers in New Brunswick tailgating on game day, listen to New Jersey appropriate music. You're not out in fucking farm country. You're in New Brunswick. It's the fucking urban area where people get stabbed. A time and a place for everything. I really do. I believe that there is a time and a place for everything, and things should be done. Like if I go out for dinner, a steak dinner. Before dinner, a martini. During steak, a nice red wine. After dinner, an espresso with maybe a bourbon or an anisette or something like that. And then after, if you go out for drinks after, that's when you have a beer. Maybe someone orders a round of shots for everybody. Things should be situationally appropriate. If I was at that steak dinner, I wouldn't want to hear electronic music. I would prefer a nice, low-level Frank Sinatra. You got to do things appropriately. If I was at a tailgate in the Deep South, I would want, that is when we want to crank up the bro country. But too much of it, though, is like, it's all these fucking sad sack love songs. That's what I think I don't like hearing, is these fucking losers drowning their sorrows in fucking brown liquor and shitty beer, obsessing over some fucking broad. You know what? Yeah, if you lived in a fucking area with more than 2,000 fucking people and they're not all related to each other, you wouldn't get hung up on one fucking piece of ass and have to write a sad song about it. Go move to a fucking city. There's plenty of fucking trim walking around, and rebound yourself. Fucking Wheeler Walker Jr. is decent. He's the guy that is he the one that Rogan's friends with? That Rogan's always talking about. Yeah, I don't. It's not a matter of like country music being bad. Like fucking Johnny Cash, Merle Haggard, a little. You throw in a little Conway Twitty, fucking, that kind of stuff. Um, country music that isn't really country-ish. It's more it's very artful, guitar music, which I guess it falls into the country category. It's more like it's almost crossing the line into like blues rock, I guess. But anyway, it's almost quitting time. It's just about 9 o'clock. I'm gonna go ahead, gonna wrap things up. I will most likely be pre-recorded next week and possibly the week after that, because of social obligations. If there's an opportunity to go live, I will, but it'll probably be 2 pre-records and then a week off. Somebody has a birthday coming up, so give myself a little breathing room, treat myself to a nice dinner, and etc. Anywho, thank y'all for tuning in. Always a treat. And shout out anyone who has drifted their way over here from the Dabbleverse. I got a few new follows and some nice messages. So Cardiff and everyone over in the Dabbleverse, those of you tuning in, good to have you guys watching. Very nice of you to reach out as well. Before I go, the social media again: Twitter at Mike Montone, Instagram at Gary_Moyler, Moyler. YouTube at Mike's Golden Streams. And what else? What else? Oh yeah, of course. If you like what you're watching, again, please take a little screenshot, share it to your Instagram stories, let the people know it's out there. Organic and grassroots, just like the protests at Columbia. Good night, everybody. I will see you later on down the line. Adios, motherfuckers.